I've been playing more Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. It's funny because that last week I was so scared, and this week
you're over it.
I'm
not over, but over the fear.
Yeah, it really has turned more into a regular Resident Evil game. I feel like.
Yeah.
Before it was like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and now it's slowly evolving into Resident Evil.
We hit some parts yesterday. I've been like there alongside Sean playing it, and we hit some parts that it felt like this feels like fucking 4 now.
Yeah.
In terms of weird shit is happening. Everything feels really real and tangible, but biologically strange.
Right.
And again, the first person aspect, they did a great job at not making it, it's a first person shooter now. No, it's not. It's like Resident Evil. You could say, I always compare to 4 because that's my favorite.
Right.
But it's like that, but it's just you're in the hot seat, not this other guy.
Right.
It's just on you. They did a great job.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. Yeah, I mean, preaching to the choir to a lot of people, I'm sure.
That night that we played, I'm kind of sick. I'm getting over it now. But I went home, and then I took a lot of NyQuil to fall asleep. And so I fell asleep at like, I don't know,
what kind of dreams did you have?
Well, I woke up, and I didn't know really where I was or what was happening.
He was in the house.
I was a little loopy.
Oh, shit.
So I start, I heard a noise. So I start walking down my hall, and I'm just kind of out of it. And then out of nowhere, Jenny came out of Sawyer and Beckett's room. Just came out.
Yeah.
And she said the noise I made was this because I was like so fucking high from NyQuil. That she's like, you jumped and then made this groan it was the scariest moment of my life.
I don't do that when I play the game.
Fuck, man. So if you guys want a real scary experience, NyQuil and Resident Evil 7.
You're just playing it
Sean's wife.
You're playing it non-VR, right?
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'm not playing VR.
So I played Resident Evil. I would say I played the first hour and a half in VR, and I loved it. But I can't handle PSVR longer than 30 minutes before I get really sick.
That's what you're saying.
So I played enough to get it, and now I'm playing the rest of it just regular, and I'm really loving it. Okay. But if you have VR, it's worth trying it out.
Yeah. It's really cool both ways because it is immersive in VR. But man, the game looks great.
Yeah,
we keep encountering stuff that's on an HD TV.
There's also so much because the way this Resident Evil is built compared to 6, which is a huge nightmare, even 5, is you're meant to go over the same area over and over again. So there's so much detail packed into these these houses.
Yeah.
So you're playing in VR, you can look up and down and see all these little details and notes. I love it.
I'm such a item hunter.
Yeah.
I dig into every corner of every room.
You're more of a Garrett hunter.
Well, true. Thank you.
I get it.
That PSVR though lets me look behind and
so cool.
in the
that
corners.
That is a
and stuff.
great feature of that.
I find every item. I'm so oversupplied. I'm maybe 6.5 hours, 7 hours in or something.
Oh really?
But I'm playing all in VR.
But that's the thing.
So it's more of a thief game when you play it.
yeah.
Robbing that house,
stealing all this shit.
Do you listen
Garrett
to that
is
song,
the name of the thief character too.
Do you listen to Sneaking in Your House as you go through it?
No, my VR rig is kind of ridiculous. In front of my TV, I have a fan, a desk chair, all the accoutrements of the PSVR, over-the-ear headphones, an amp for the headphones. Because I like to boost the sound a little. It's taking up. I need to really beat the game and go through regularly.
It sounds like a '90s idea
Lawnmower
of what
Man.
VR was supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's a track to walk on, and fans
That's
to
why
blow on you.
I won't play unless I'm
tickle.
gonna commit 2 hours or an hour and a half. I'm not getting out of all this shit because it takes a while to
that's crazy.
get on and get comfortable.
Because a lot of times I just take the VR off, but you are really immersed in that house for 2 hours.
I'm in the house for 2 hours. I've screamed, "Oh fuck!"
Your neighbors.
So my neighbors can't hear me. They're pretty far off.
Used to it.
Okay, yeah.
Dude.
And I mean, I turn on this feature to where the microphone in the headset picks back up into your earphones. So I can hear my own voice.
Why would you want that?
Well, I can hear, you know
More
what?
screams, more scary.
I can hear other people in my house talk to me, and it doesn't give me that sense of someone's gonna sneak up on me because I can actually hear the cat meow or whatever, or the door, doorbell or whatever.
Oh fuck, man.
But also, I can hear my own voice. It's interesting because it's amplified into my headset, and it's really being the character when I'm going, oh fuck, at something coming at me because it startled me.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, it's super immersive, like you said. And then, spending 2 hours in the thing, I do lose myself in that world, and I want to keep going, and then it's oh no, wait, save point. Okay. what time is it? Hit the PlayStation button, and then the big screen comes off, and it like is jarring when that pop-up takes you out of like, oh, I'm just playing a game.
The most jarring thing.
So, like, I want to see what time it is, so I hit the start button, and it like comes right up at you, like, bright, okay.
The most jarring thing is that it's an actually good Resident Evil game.
Yeah. God,
Like
yes.
I had no expectations.
No, me
got
neither.
it, and it's like, yeah, it's Resident Evil. It's not better than Resident Evil 4, but like this is the best Resident Evil we've had since Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
And you know what's interesting? Sales numbers came in from Japan. I don't know if you saw that.
Really?
It's really interesting because it's like way more acclaimed than anything.
Yeah.
Capcom's even done
like 9s and
years
10s.
and years, and the sales are like half of what 6 were.
What?
Because
6
you
is
know,
so bad.
everyone got burned.
But
They
you know
did
what?
get
But
burned,
it's
yeah.
but
And
what
it
everyone's
really-
saying
it's
is it's
based
like.
off the last game.
Yeah.
People feel burned.
But what everyone's saying too, but like 6 was such a marketing blowout.
Right.
Every character, everything from Resident Evil is colliding. I mean, marketing wise, it was huge.
Right.
But you know, it's like, it's almost though they had to like sacrifice for the sake of the series continuing.
Yeah.
To rebirth.
You know what I mean? Like, you could do that again, but you're also going to never be able to do Resident Evil again. You know, like.
But those are
like,
just the Japan numbers, or is it
just Japan. Just
Oh,
Japan.
maybe it's different here. Who knows?
I think it might do
I-
better
I,
here.
I bet the sales will still
I think
be
the
lower.
word of mouth will pick up.
I think the
Yeah.
sales will still be lower because again, it's not as marketable and it's scarier. That
Yeah.
will honestly get some people to not buy it.
Right.
But it's still a worthwhile endeavor for not nosediving the series into oblivion. Because if there was another one like 6, it just wouldn't even, no one would go back.
Right.
I mean, already you were at that point almost.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so anyway.
And then we
So
got Resident
good-
Evil
I'm
2
glad.
reboot coming out soon.
Yeah.
And
See,
I'm
I think
curious.
you're gonna get the best of both
Yeah, I'm
worlds.
curious if it's going to be same thing first person or like Resident Evil 4 or are they going to do remakes
The
though?
stuff, so like from what I heard, it was like a fan project that kind of got picked up by Capcom, and then they said, yeah, let's make this into Resident Evil 2 remake. And it was third person, the footage is
So
of what I saw before.
There was a fan project, Capcom like cease and desist them. So they're making their own game called like, it has a really dumb title. It's like Nightmare 1998.
Oh, is
so
that
that's
what
still
happened?
third person. You're basically in like the police department. They're doing their own game.
Oh, so
Now-
Capcom hasn't shown anything.
Yeah, no, I think the game is called Daymare. It has an
Oh, God.
awful title. But it's,
Daymare.
yeah, it's called.
Hey, I like
It's
that.
called-
That sounds like, hey, no offense, that sounds like Sean, you would have come out.
It's
I
called
would have
Daymare.
absolutely done that.
Daymare 1998. So that's still coming out. But then yeah, they're doing Resident Evil 2 reboot or whatever. So I
we
hope
don't
that's
know what that is.
No, we don't know
Yeah,
yet.
we
But
haven't seen that
Resident
yet.
Evil 7 is so great. But I was telling Rocco earlier, I kind of hope Resident Evil continues now as a Final Fantasy type thing, where each game, boom, new gameplay, new story, new whatever.
Yeah.
They detach themselves from all the umbrella.
Well, it's going to be
stuff.
cool because now you're going to have the best of both worlds. If you want new and exciting,
Mhm.
Resident Evil 7 is
Yeah.
over here. But if you want classic,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 Remake will
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
Just like with Final Fantasy. If you want
Oh, it's true.
classic,
Yeah.
great story, Final Fantasy 7 Remake is coming out. And if you want to feed a fucking cat, 15 is out.
Yeah,
There you go.
You know. So there you have it.
Is
Anyway,
Resident Evil 2 gonna be in VR too? Or
they haven't
I
said
mean,
anything.
we don't know.
Yeah,
that really
pretty good.
is like, if you feel like, oh, I'm in like a safer kind of area, you could put it on in VR just for like that 5 minutes and take it
Yeah.
out of it. It's so cool you go in and out of VR.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so rad.